Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Book Club Preview. I'm Michael, and today we're looking at The Lost Hero, Chapter 47, Leo. Now, if you remember, Leo takes the helicopter, and so he's flying that helicopter. He's never flown before in his life, and he has this kind of weird experience where if he's just relaxing, he just flying the helicopter, no big deal. But if he thinks, oh my goodness, I'm flying a helicopter, what do I do next? He can't do anything. And so for Leo, he is trying to relax very, very deeply while he's flying this helicopter. He's just trying to just go with the flow. Just let your body work. And really that blood of Hepatus, just kind of control the machine, just listening and knowing and doing it naturally. While he's flying, Piper and Jason start to talk. And Jason has all this information about the Wolf House, and Leo's like, man, where are we going? What's this Wolf House? And then Jason just starts remembering things. And he's like, oh, it's a cursed place. Many demigods start at this place. And, Jack London was a famous author and famous demigod. And he built this mansion there. And he died. And it's just not a good place to be. But it's a very powerful place, Jason says. And Jason says that if Gaia can control that area, then she might be strong enough to cage Hera. And then if she's strong enough to cage Hera, and this other giant can wake up, then Gaia might be able to wake up, and then they're all doomed. Well, Jason decides to take a little nap because they have 30 minutes. And he can kind of remember things, and then he can't remember anything. And he's like, it's still really strange for him. But as Jason goes to sleep, or maybe Leo's just thinking, I can't remember. But in any case, Leo starts to think about Piper and her dad, and how she had a happy reunion. Like, she got to see her dad, and she got to save her dad. But Leo, his mom's dead. There's no way for his mom to come back. But wait, Gaia is bringing back people that were dead. Could my mom come back? Can Gaia bring back my mom? No. Don't think like that. Come on, Leo. Come on. So he's going back, and he's trying to focus. And he's saying, like, no, I need to focus on this, and I need to do my mission. And he even has like this little message in the helicopter, because he kind of starts doubting himself. And when he doubts himself, the helicopter starts to not fly well. And he starts to doubt himself, and he hears like this. You can imagine the wind hitting the helicopter. And I think it says, what is, there's Morse code. Leo and his mom used to do Morse code through the wall, right? Tap, 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 tap. I love you. Something like that. And so Leo hears the tapping, and it reminds him of his mom in a good way, saying, I can't remember what it was, but it's like, you can do it, or don't give up, or this isn't the end. I think that's me. This isn't the end. Something like that. And so Leo's like, oh, come on. And then he straightens the helicopter out, and the sound goes away, and he's flying. Piper goes up to Leo while Jason is sleeping, and Leo feels like Piper's really sad, and he's like, hey, Piper, it's okay. Your dad's gonna be okay. Coach Hedge is gonna protect him. And Piper's like, yeah, I know, but I'm not worried about my dad right now. I'm worried about Jason. And they're like, oh yeah, what if Jason gets back his memories? Is he gonna change? Is he gonna be different? We're going to this really dangerous place. Is he an enemy? They were thinking about that before. And then Leo's like, no, you know what? No, he's on our team. Like, he's our friend. He's our brother. Like, we can trust him. And Piper's like, yeah, I really need him. I really need to know I can trust him. So she kind of slipped up. And Leo's just like, yeah, I can imagine. He doesn't say this to Piper, but he's thinking like, you just saw your dad, who's like a movie star hero, just crumble and become like this crazy person. And that would really hurt you. Like, it hurt Leo just watching it happen. But for his own daughter, Leo can't imagine. But then if Jason goes crazy too, I think Piper's heart would just break. And so Leo's just kind of that's what Leo's thinking. He's like, oh yeah, we can trust him though. I know we can. And the other thing that I didn't mention was when Piper goes to talk with Leo, she's so different. Before, Piper would always try to hide. She would sit in the back. She wouldn't hang out with loud people. She would try to not be seen. But now she just has this presence, Leo says, where you just see her. Like, you just can't miss her. And we can see like her character has grown and changed a bit. Then they hit a storm, and we'll see what happens next chapter. Vocabulary. The first one is delinquent. Now, we already studied this word, but I just wanted to remind you in case you forgot. So let me ask, do you remember what delinquent means? Yeah? No? If you forgot, it's okay. If you remember, fantastic. A delinquent is usually a young person that gets into trouble. And so, usually it can be with the police, with other families, or that's just a troublemaker. Maybe no one catches them do it, but they know, oh, he's the one that makes the trouble. And that's a delinquent. And Leo's aunt always called him a delinquent. After his mom died and Leo went to go stay with his family, they would always call him Diablo, right? Oh, you devil. And they would always say really bad things to Leo. And that's one of the things he was like, oh man, I can't fly this helicopter. But he can. And he's not a delinquent. He's an awesome guy. Hobo. Jack London was a hobo for a little while. He was an adventurer. He was an author. He did all this stuff. And one of them was a hobo. We don't use this word We don't use this word commonly in English anymore. But in the old days, a hobo was someone that didn't have a home, but they still traveled around. And so they would in America's a really big country, and we had trains going from one part of the country to the other. And so a hobo would maybe get on the train in Chicago, and they didn't have a ticket. They would just jump on the train, and they would hide in the train, and the train would just take them to another city, Denver, Seattle, LA, something. And when they got to that city, they would get off the train, and then they'd just look for like a little job, just make a little bit of money to eat some food. They would probably sleep outside in the park. They didn't have a home. They didn't have any commitments. They were just free. Probably a little dirty, a little smelly, because they couldn't shower or wash, and they just slept in their clothes. But overall, they weren't necessarily bad people. Nowadays, we think of hobos as being really dirty or maybe even bad, which they're not. And there can be many, many reasons why someone is homeless, we call them. But in this day and age, hobo just kind of meant adventure. There are many, many famous American authors that were hobos for a while, and they just rode trains and just hung out with other homeless people and just had adventures. I think the last one here is freaking me out, and that means scaring me. Who says freaking me out? You're freaking me out. Oh, I think Leo says it. Leo says it to Jason, because Jason's remembering things and he's giving all these details, and then Leo's like, "Dude, do you remember now? Or do you have your memories back?" And then Jason's like, "Oh, not really, But then Jason keeps telling this really scary stuff about this wolf house, and Leo's like, dude, you're freaking me out. You're scaring me. Um, and that's kind of what that means. We can say that to someone that's scaring you a little bit. Discussion question. Do you think you would be a different person if you lost your memories? Right? This is one of the things that Piper and Leo are worried about. If Jason gets his memories back, will he change? Will he not be on our team? Will he not be as friendly? Will he not love me anymore? Right? This is Piper's thoughts. Right? Will he not be my friend anymore? Maybe this is Leo. They're so afraid that if Jason got his memories back, he would change. What do you think would happen to you? It's hard to imagine if you lost your memories. What would you be like? Would you be different? What if someone you loved lost their memories? Do you think they would be the same? Or do you think they would be different? That's my discussion question, and we can talk about it when we get together. Of course, please make your own discussion question. And thank you already in advance for making your wonderful discussion questions. Well, that's all the time that we have for today. But thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Book Club Preview. Bye-bye. Hey, if you have any questions about the video today, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. If you had any other vocabulary words that you wanted to know what they meant, let me know. And also, if you're interested in maybe joining one of these book clubs, please leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.